We usually think of ancient Egypt when it comes to the cradle of civilization, but a new archaeological discovery suggests that we should be thinking of Turkey instead. Hi, it's me, and this is my channel. A site called Gobekli in southeastern Turkey has yielded the oldest evidence of human settlement ever found. And what's most surprising about it is that it predates the invention of agriculture. That means humans were living there for hundreds of years without farming, hunting and gathering in what is now one of the world's most inhospitable environments. To get to Gobekli, you have to hike up a mountain. But once you get to the top, you find a plateau with a few small hills overlooking valleys on three sides. In the distance, you can see the ruins of several round structures made of mud brick. Those date back about 3,000 years. But what really caught archaeologists' attention were some circular depressions in the ground. They looked like they could have been used for burials, but they turned out to be much older than the surrounding structures. The oldest of these go back 12,000 years, which makes them at least 3,000 years older than Stonehenge and 6,000 years older than the Egyptian pyramids. There are more than a dozen of these mysterious holes scattered around the plateau, and they were all dug during the late Pleistocene era. Most of them contain animal bones, including wild goats, deer, and cows. Some also contain human bones. In total, archaeologists have found the remains of at least 30 people, most of whom appear to have died violent deaths. While studying these remains, one team of scientists took a closer look at the skull of an adolescent boy. He had suffered from chronic pain in his right eye socket and died after being stabbed in the chest with a sharp stone tool. His injuries suggest that he was attacked while trying to protect someone else, perhaps a member of his family or his community. This individual was so central to his group that when he died, they buried him beneath a special circular structure. It was the first building ever constructed at the site, and it may have served as a kind of tomb. The bones of several generations of his descendants were also found nearby, suggesting that people kept returning to this spot long after their loved one had died. But who were these people? What we know about them is pretty limited. They were almost certainly nomadic, traveling from place to place following herds of wild animals. Their diet consisted mainly of gazelle meat, but they also ate wild grains, fruits, and vegetables. Some scholars believe that they were early ancestors to the Kurds, an ethnic group that still lives in the area today. But others argue that they were a completely different people. What is also unclear is how such a small group of people managed to survive for so long in such an inhospitable environment. Gobble Creek is located high up in the mountains, far from any major population centers. It wasn't until 9,000 years ago that the land below the mountains was transformed into fertile farmlands. And even then, the people of Gobble Creek didn't seem to take full advantage of it. They continued to travel, though they did establish a permanent settlement nearby. Today, the team behind the excavations at Gobekli Tepe believes that their discovery will force us to rethink the history of human civilization. Most scholars agree that the development of agriculture led to the rise of civilization, which in turn led to larger settlements and eventually cities. But Gobekli suggests that this process might have happened differently somewhere else. If humans could live in small groups and survive by hunting and gathering, then maybe civilization didn't rise out of necessity, but simply because people wanted to build cities. Maybe it was a choice. As for why they chose to build those cities somewhere else, well, that's a mystery for future archaeologists to solve. Thanks for watching. If you want to learn more about Gobekli, check out the link in the description.